Good everyone, over this video. Today we have another Dumb Comments episode. This is episode 8. I'm surprised we've really gotten this far in the series. I originally started this series as more of like a joke, but clearly I get plenty of dumb comments that fill up the folder. And well, we're starting out with what's not technically a dumb comment, but it's actually this comment has a bit of a funny moment, let's just say. So the comment reads, "Go touch grass." In fact, before I do that, the usual ground rules for this series are still going to apply. Of course, please do not go and harass these people, especially not this first one, because this isn't really that bad, because I'm going to tell you why in a moment. But yeah, this is one that is kind of funny. So, as I said, don't go and harass these people. This is just a series for a laugh, but if you've been here enough and watched the whole damn playlist, you know this by now. So we're starting off with this comment, which there isn't a name on there because I'm hiding it for reasons, and obviously because I know the actual age of this user because it's a family member of mine. It's actually my little cousin Neve, and as you can see, she loves to roast me, and she's been aware of my channel for about a year or so now. Same with my older cousin, who's Neve's sister. But yeah, she decided to go on a comment tirade and start leaving comments like this and roasting me all over my comments section on one of my videos. It was rather funny. But yeah, it's my little cousin Neve, and yeah, I'm seeing her in about a week. Obviously, when this video goes out, you will obviously not... Well, by the time this video goes out, it would have long been past that, but I'm going to show her this video before it goes out and just show her that, yeah, you're being featured now. But I had to include it, and not only that, she was practically begging me to include her in this series because she really loves the dumb comments. And, well, keep watching them, Neve, because I'm sure they're coming. There's going to be more of them. Alright, let's move on to the next one. And this one's going to be one that I think I'm going to get a bit of a grumpy comment from His Majesty's Hobbit, is all I'll say. So this is made by Harry, and he made a comment saying how to actually fly strike aircraft. 1. Fly Soviet. 2. Kill all the things. 3. Count your rubles. Job done, comrade. The thing is that doesn't teach anyone anything, Harry. All that tells them to do is just go full commit head on. And not being funny, right? I've seen matches where Harry's just charged in and just died. And he actually did make a video in response to this, but the video was rather... Well, it was based off of one part of my video, which was completely irrelevant, and it didn't really make sense because he was basing it off of one specific part. But that's Harry for you. And then he says, "Silly Brit, it teaches the most important thing for all true Slav Soviet pilots. Not one step back. You must be the most aggressive bird in the sky and attack. Then and only then will stupid capitalists will learn not to mess with the glorious might of Mother Russia." The thing is, though, Harry, is that is one nation. There's more than one nation in this game. And each of them, apart from Israel, because Israel, they all have at least one strike aircraft. And knowing how to play them is very important. And obviously, with those vehicles being in the game, it's rather not going to help. Like, your supposed guide doesn't really teach anyone anything. Because that's only applying for Soviet aircraft, and that's really only if you learn that plane and you're spaded. But hey ho, it was pretty funny, so I had to throw this in. Next up, we have a comment from WYK34548. Sorry, nearly said 58 then. On the Canadian Ram 2 tank, and as you'll see, he's put Aussie tank moment. Now, I don't know if you've been looking at a map recently, or maybe some videos of Australia and Canada, but Canada's very cold, it has bears, and most importantly, it is just filled with stuff like avalanches and mountains. And then you go to Australia, which is upside down for the most part. You have kangaroos that want to kick your face in, and it's hotter than most places on the world right now. And yeah, I don't think that constitutes as being a Australian tank, because this tank is right side up, let's just say. But I had to throw this one in because it was pretty funny, and yeah, this was one that Definitely made me chuckle, that's for sure. Moving on to the next comment, we have a guy named GTR Experience 7339. Just buy this plane and forget all the blah blah blah, trust me. On the premium review of the French Yak 3. The thing is this guy appears to be a big fan of the buy this, blah blah, and forget all the blah blah blah, because he did no research in the vehicle that he has purchased, because if you don't know, if you've not looked at his channel, he has a Nissan GTR, and, well, that's kind of a clue in the name. Now, for those of you who are not car nerds, you're just going to hear this and think it's irrelevant crap, so don't worry. But for those of you that are down with the kids and love your sports cars and things like that, although some people literally class the GTR as a supercar, in which case, God help you is all I'll say. But the GTR is so recycled, it's been out since, I think, 2009, and it's so recycled and just updated with the same 0 to 60 time, like 2.8 seconds, and I'm like, come on, there's Teslas that do 1.9 now, there's other supercars that do it in like 2.2. Yes, it's a fast car, but once it gets past the 0 to 60, it's left in the dust by most supercars these days. And even sports cars will give that thing a bloody run for its money, but this guy's the kind of guy to just go and think, buy this, blah blah blah, forget all that, but he doesn't even do research into his own vehicle. And that's rather embarrassing considering you're buying a French Yak, which probably means why the French Yak 3 stats have been going down on Thunderscale recently, because you've just gone and bought it. But, you know, that's just how it is sometimes. Next up, we have the Talisman series episode on the OS2U Kingfisher with a comment from Sydney Maher 1547. The Waffle House has found its new host. Now, I must admit, I was rather taken aback by this, because I thought this was actually a roast towards me. I know I love to chatter in my videos a lot, and that's kind of what I like to do, because then I'm describing what I'm doing, my intentions, and just in general, just having a bit of a nice talk with the community, really, in the video itself. And I actually did think this was a roast towards me, but then it turned out that it isn't, and it's just someone on a YouTube channel who thinks that if he says, no, my community shouldn't do this, they're going to listen to him. And let's just say the YouTube comments were very quickly inundated with the Waffle House has found its new host comments, and I was unfortunate to receive just the one. And of course there's probably going to be another one in the comments very shortly, because people just want to be funny, but I don't mind it anyway. It was just a bit weird, but now that I know what it is, I could care less. But I found it pretty funny, and well, if that YouTuber tells you to jump off a cliff, would you do it? Probably not, unless it was like 2 feet tall. But then it wouldn't constitute as a cliff, that'd be a small ledge, but still, some people still probably do that. Next is a comment on my German P47 D16RE review, which is, if you've not looked at the thumbnail of this, it is Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park with the huge pile of dinosaur crap, and he says that is one big pile of shit, and I just put a picture of the P47 on it. And, yeah, this guy was not happy about it. I thought the thumbnail and name was bait. Just turns out you're just about as smart as the average American pilot or German tanker. Soon to get the target to 4.0. This thing is an absolute blast if you have half a brain and don't try to dogfight everything. Right. Well, clearly you didn't pay any attention to any part of the video, which is embarrassing. And considering, well, to be fair, you're using the Joker as a profile picture, and, well, if it was down to me, I'd send Batman after your ass, but unfortunately I don't have a talk with Bruce Wayne himself. But still, less of the nerding out about superheroes and stuff like that. Yeah. The only thing this P47 brings to the table is good guns, and that's it. But the thing is that I even explained in the video that I've had experience with the other P47s in the game, and I have the old German P47, which I absolutely love. But you ignored that. And also you clearly ignored the hangar section, which states about it having a heavier weight, it having less power, and most importantly, its FM, its flight model, is worse. Why would you buy this thing if you have the TA154 available, which, albeit that's not a great premium, it's a good premium, but it's not, well, it's good compared to the D16, but it's not the top dog premium it used to be when it first came out. Nowadays, it's outclassed by a lot of aircraft, but I would still rather buy that, even though I already have it, than this pile of crap. And before anyone asks, no, I did not buy the D16. I got it in War Bonds, which I assume this guy probably did as well. But given how he moves to insults, yeah. I think the only joker here is you yourself. Next up, we have a comment on one of my Rare Vehicles episodes of the German-Italian aircraft. So, for those of you that don't remember, I typically used to, shall we say, it used to be something where I would cover the video and obviously cover the aircraft in the video and call it the German-Italian aircraft. But clearly this guy didn't even watch the first 30 seconds of the video. He just saw the thumbnail and went, "Oh, I must be a keyboard warrior." Da, 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 da. Yeah, that doesn't help your matter. And not only that, you just made yourself look a right twat. But I don't think this guy cares. And I even say to him, yes, and I mentioned this in the first 30 seconds into the video, which I did, please focus on the first 30 seconds of the video before making a comment based on the thumbnail alone. It is titled this way and thumbnail this way as it's the one in the German tree, which also was mentioned in the video, but you ignored it, because people don't have attention span these days. Like, seriously. I remember once I watched a video on Red Dead Redemption 2, which was about 45 minutes long. I sat through the entire thing with a packet of biscuits, an ice cold drink, and just relaxing. If I can do that, and not only that, I've had better things, and I don't mean watching videos. I once sat outside a Pokemon Centre in London, because, yeah, I went down to London. I woke up at 2 in the morning, got there for 3 in the morning, and I sat there till 11:30 till the bloody shop opened. And I still have, on my bedside table over to my left, the actual Pikachu I bought there. So if I've got the patience to do that, I'm asking you to have 30 seconds of patience. But clearly, that is too much for people. And I'll be honest, it does kind of piss me off. But this is definitely one that will piss people off, because, yeah, this is a big one. So you'll notice up here on the top left, more on 8 part 1, because yes, this comment is so big with its comment train, I literally had to put it in 2 parts, because, yeah. I apologise for the quality of the text. I'm going to slightly move it in so you can read it a little bit better. This is because I had to zoom out in YouTube Studio just to get all of this crap in, because trust me, there's a lot. Crew skills, aka how the game institutionalized cheats. I'm not even gonna mention anything about that. And as you'll see, the user has listed multiple different timestamps and has given their very poor opinion about it, and albeit wrong opinion. For example, cumulative scores on a crew. No, that is only for the commander. The commander gives a 10% boost at maximum to all crew. And that is the only cumulative score. Otherwise, if you're gunner / or driver, it doesn't really matter which, because obviously I referenced those being the most important. Those two are the most important, because at the end of the day, if you can't drive your tank, you can't go anywhere. And if you're getting driver shot and transmission shot through the opposing side because you accidentally drove too far forward, yeah, it is something you need to consider. So always having a better driver in that situation would help you out if they don't detrack you. And even if they do, you can still traverse on one track. So that would actually help your ass. As for gunner, there are times when people beat you to the trigger, and obviously you can get your gunner back in the tank, start wiggling the tank like you're doing some sort of dance at like your brother's party or something, whilst you're a bit on the lash, you know. And you can obviously fight back with a gunner that can get back in the seat quicker. And, like, come on. Just use a little bit of common sense when it comes to this sort of thing. And the range finding, I didn't even say put in all the points, and he's going on about being pretty useless. It's not, because it's a very useful skill. Once you get a top tier with laser rangefinders, sure, you don't need it, but that's not what I'm on about. And there's a lot of people who have been able to get multiple different snipes by using the rangefinder on a World War II era tank. So as far as I'm concerned, you're full of crap in that regard. Radio is useless. No, it determines how far and for how long scout reports, enemy hits and deaths are shown on the minimap. No, it doesn't. The only thing it does is tell you where the enemy tank has been hit and where they have died. And if you're not paying attention to that with a low-level crew, why would you need to put points into it to... Well, the simple fact is, pay attention when you can do that. And the only thing that radio operator gunner actually brings to the table is, as I said, artillery, which is very useful. But clearly this user just doesn't care. And it gets better because there's more. As you can see here, I just don't get it. Like, institutionalized cheats? Like, what the frick? Yeah, some vehicles in this game, I will admit and hold my hand up and say, yes, they are overpowered and they are pay to win. But those are few and far between. I've been called pay to win for flying an American Zero, of all things. That's not pay to win. That is an exact copy of the one in the Japanese tree, bar the fact it doesn't carry some little fart bombs. That's it. And if I want to do that, carry some fart bombs, I'll take the Chinese Zero, because that actually comes with the bomb racks. But as you'll see, it's just more and more bollocks, and I'm just like, why are you making these comments when you're wrong? It just doesn't make any sense. And the thing is that they've never been cumulative scores for crew members. AI gunners do suck, because if you have to get within 700 meters to have them work, you might as well shoot yourself. And even then, most bomber gunners can shoot very far, especially 50 cal ones. The range finding. The few percent increase in accuracy is complete crap, and I even say in the video, don't put all your points into it, focus it on gunnery or reload. But again, you don't listen to that. Radio doesn't work, and he says, I need to make my minimap bigger. No, I don't, because it is a useless skill. Why would I need something when I'm paying attention to the kill feed and where enemy tank smokes are coming up from being knocked out? Why would I need to waste my crew skill points on something that doesn't benefit me and benefits a new player? So if you're going to make a comment like this, and this isn't the only comments this user has made and been wrong about it either, it's the fact that this user just doesn't think and thinks that cheats involve crew skills, which they just don't. Moving on to comment number 9, and this is another one that, well, I replied nicely, but I was just like, come on, man. And the reason why I say this is because, is there any difference between the Stuarts? And this is on the Chinese starter pack review. Now, the thing is I stated this within the first minute of the video, and like I said earlier, if you can't even watch the first 30 seconds or minute of the video to be established about that, then I'm sorry, but why are you making a comment? Like, I do appreciate people leaving comments if they're asking genuine questions, but when it's literally explained for you within the first minute, why do I need to waste my breath? Because, well, should I say more like, why should I have to waste my time typing a response to you if you can just watch the first minute? It's not that hard. As I said, I've sat outside a Pokemon Center for about 8 hours, and I think my most longest watched video was a 2-hour lore video on, I think, no, it wasn't a lore video, it was a 2-hour video covering multiple different American aircraft carriers during the Second World War, and it went into a lot of detail, which, sure enough, at some point I did get a little bit bored, because it was just dribble, but it was still something I watched the entire way through, because I had the time. And not only that, when people go to like cinemas and stuff, if they're a Marvel fan especially, they get up before the end of the credits, and I'm like, if you're a Marvel fan, you know that there's always an end credit scene. Like, come on, just wait a couple of minutes. Read all the different names on the thingy, like, and look for any funny names on like the credits and stuff like that. But people just don't have the patience these days, and it's honestly quite baffling. But that's just what the world is coming to. And finally, we have comment number 10, which I'm sure if you've been keeping an eye on the Discord server, and of course the Scumbag Alert up there on Folio Peruna 6, this is one where it was a, shall we say, a nuclear level of Malding, and that's to put it lightly. And yeah, this one, this is just one part, and trust me, this comment train got a lot bigger. And yeah, this was a big one. There is over 70 comments on this video, some of which are from my users and just being normal, you know. But then you get the knuckleheads who come from this guy. The guy here named Gulag8014 is actually Folio Peruna, and he claims he's not toxic and he's half black, which apparently constitutes the fact that he is allowed to just say racial slurs whenever the fuck he likes. No, that's not how the world works. Just because you, shall we say, have that word in your library, so to speak, doesn't mean you get to use it. And I'm sorry, but the fact that you're claiming that you're not toxic, and the first thing you do is go and say sorts of things like I didn't even expose or to read more or like anything else, but the fact that he's brought a bunch of his crumb bums and his bum buddies, to be precise, to come and white knight it their way because they see that their toxic friend has been exposed in a 9-minute video where one of them even told me to delete the video, which is quite funny because last I checked, War Thunder videos are, well, War Thunder replays are public viewing, which fair enough, this replay I think is, I don't think you can access replay anymore, but that's only due to an update. But otherwise, anyone at any time can freely access a War Thunder replay and can view that replay, record that replay. So trying to tell me, well, trying to get your cronies to tell me to delete the video is, number one, quite funny, and number two, you clearly have no idea about what the Scumbag Alert series is about. But clearly I have to explain these sorts of things because knuckleheads like this are, shall we say, yeah. And the real like point here of random ass claims and assumptions, well, I don't think they are, because last I checked, I didn't make any claims, and the assumptions were bang on point. And well, as I said, 288 DB7. That's all I need to know, and you own both, mate. So, as far as I'm concerned, you're full of shit. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. Obviously, it's going to be a little while probably before the next Dumb Comments episode, so expect to see episode 9 at some point in like a couple of months, I'd say, because I don't tend to get as many dumb comments anymore, which is a bit of a shame because I do like doing these and roasting the people that are responsible for this. But honestly, if you want like a good laugh for the rest of the day, go and take a look at the video that is here. Follow Peruna 6's Scumbag Alert, and you'll honestly have one of the most funniest moments reading so much Malding because the guy got exposed and he don't like it. Oh, and also his bum buddies don't like it either, which is even more funny. And one other thing I forgot to mention is he claims that he shot my friend, aka Lonius, because he stole his kill. No, he didn't. If he'd have stolen your kill, that would have been fair enough to shoot him. But he didn't steal your kill because your aim was that crap. You ran out of ammunition trying to both TK me and him. Congratulations, you're a dumbass. But anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode on dumb comments. Obviously, it's episode 8. And we'll probably have episode 9 within about a month or two. It depends on how quick we get the next lot. But hopefully, if these cronies keep sticking around and giving me dumb comments to put in the folder, I don't think it's going to take too long. I'll see you all on the next one.